Welcome to this week's episode of the Ballinesian podcast here on the Polytickin Network. Championship weekend for the NFL. Only 3 real football games remaining in the 2025 to 2026 NFL season. We thank you for joining us. We're going to recap the divisional round games. So if your team lost, we'll talk about them for the last time here. If your team won, we'll talk about how they're moving on to the championship round. We also have news that Mike McDaniel, former Dolphins coach, is joining the Chargers. Talk about that a little bit. See if we can expect some improvements from this terrible offensive season. A sellout? We need him. We need that guy. And also, we will be talking about, we're going to update all the latest head coaching jobs, which jobs are open, and which of the best available candidates are still out there and likely to get hired, specifically for our team in Las Vegas, the Raiders, and who their next head coach is going to be. That being led by John Spytek and Tom Brady.
Any team out there looking for a coach, I'm available. So if you guys want a high-powered offense, empty backfield, 4 receivers on the right, 1 on the left, run a oop to you, let me know. That's what we're doing.
What would be going through your mind your first game starting as the Raiders quarterback, walking into Allegiant Stadium? It's probably a division game. You're just opening the year. What are you feeling?
Oh, I'm getting autographs.
You're getting autographs from everyone. Hey, sign this for me. I'm your quarterback. I'm your quarterback.
Sign my helmet before the game real quick so I can go out there with them. No, I'm just look, if you're like Mendoza and you watch all his interviews, you're really just thanking God to be for where you're at, because what was he? Some people were saying a no star coming out of high school, and that matters. People are like, that doesn't matter. Sure, it doesn't matter in real life, but when you're getting recruited and you want schools to look at you, those stars they matter, because that's what schools look at. So he also talked about wanting to go to Miami. That was his dream school. They didn't really recruit him, and he was super gracious about it. When he got to the championship game and beat them, they were still asking him like, how do you feel about beating the team that did? And he was like, he gave them grace. He talked about how great they were, how cool Coach Cristobal was, and the coaches that didn't recruit him. Like, that's all he did, And in a day and age when you saw Diego Pavia flip off the voters, even the ones that voted for him at the Heisman Trophy race, that's super cool to watch. So, yeah,
Mendoza looks like a much better, more professional, more adult quarterback that you want. I feel we're going to talk about this here when we talk about the Raiders too, but it feels like the Raiders are all on board with taking Fernando Mendoza #1 overall as soon as possible. Turn the card in right now.
Oh my gosh, sign it! Like Samoan Raiders said, man, we're ready. Turn the card in now.
Yeah, turn it in now. Just go and get them. Well, okay, yeah, we're going to talk about the Raiders coaching and a little bit about their chance for that #1 overall pick and how it's grown. The value of it, with how well Mendoza has done over the college football playoffs. Before we start, we're here on the Polytickin Network. Shout out to the Pod Boys on the Polytickin podcast. Definitely make sure to check out the audio streams, whether that's on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. You'll get both the Ballinesian podcast as well as the Polytickin podcast episodes that come out every Monday. Join us on the YouTube channel, the Polytickin Network. Search that up, follow, subscribe, and you'll get all the videos that come out, as well as be able to comment on them for free. Give your takes. Let us know what you think is funny, what you think is wrong, what you think is absurd, how right we are when we're talking about sports and the Chargers and the Raiders, or how terrible we are. Let us know in the comments on the YouTube page, TPN, the Polytickin Network. And then even a step forward, the patreon.com/the Polytickin podcast. You can tap on just $5 or more a month, gets you an extra episode every Saturday. Every week. You get a fresh, exclusive, not public episode that will talk about more stuff that you can suggest. You can ask what to talk about. You can submit your topics. Or there's also the Patreon chat, which is a whole nother community that we talk about and share pictures and stuff when we're talking about.
Hey, look, every time that auto pay goes in, I'm super like, what the who the hell is
I just
taking
took
my $5? Then I'm super happy when I say, oh, it's a Patreon. I get to, yeah, cool,
Apple
cool.
be taking $9,
Hey,
$14,
man,
$10,
I'm
$5,
always
and
like,
it just
it
says
doesn't tell
Apple.
you. Yeah.
It just says, "Hey, what's it for?" Apple. And I was like, "Oh, nice." I don't know what this is subscribed to, but that $5 or more, there's an option to do more if you think it's worth more, which it is, really, honestly.
It is. It really
You
is.
can, you can donate more to the Patreon than that. But yeah, $5 a month, which is like 17 cents a day. Come on, please.
Hey, man, you know
Yeah,
what I'm
and
saying?
it's recurring. You don't have to do it every month. You just set it, forget it, enjoy the content. We talked about AI songs. What?
Hey,
We talked about a bunch of different stuff. Dad life.
it's
Um,
scary, man, because some of those songs are like really good. Like,
Bro, it was wild. You can just ask a free website to make you a song. You can just type in, "I want this and that." I was like, I don't like this. I don't like
yeah,
this at all.
like it's
Everyone's gonna be putting
scary.
down music, but it's like, is it just technology and we got to get used to it, or is it like, oh, this takes
Nah,
away the human creative freedom,
yeah,
and stuff like that. But
time to
yes,
get artists, man. People have time now.
topics going in depth in those topics on the Patreon. So make sure to check patreon.com/the Polytickin podcast. We're all in there. And yeah, giving you new stuff every week, extra exclusive content.
Yeah, let them
Also,
know which One Piece character they are, because uh, right now we're talking to Jinbei, and if you guys know Lance, that's perfect for him.
is it perfect? Tell
Perfect.
me. You picked three different Straw Hat
Right.
characters, pirate?
Yep. Marcus, of course, would be Frankie. And
Of course, of course.
yeah, of course. And Seth is Sanji for sure. So,
Wait, I didn't see you. Who would you have
oh man, I mean, if other people are saying, of course, I'm like Luffy, but if I had to pick, if I had to pick, I like Usopp, man, and I like no one talks about like really like I guess Chopper's super like cute, those guys. But
Yes.
I like
He was like, that's me.
Usopp is brave, man. Usopp is brave, man. He might be chicken shit like in the beginning, but like most of the
Gross.
time he's always coming through, man. So yeah.
Oh, speaking of chicken shit, somewhat like okay, and this is the first time I have seen this person, Destanee Aiava,
Oh,
who is a Australian born Samoan tennis player, who posted recently to her page that people were talking crap to her, like bullying her and
crazy.
body shaming and stuff like that, which is wild. First of all, to have that opinion might be like some self introspection that you need to do and how you're projecting that, right? If you're like, oh, I gotta go tell this person they're fat, maybe you have some problems from your childhood
For
that
sure.
work
Like,
on that. But also writing it in public and sending it directly to someone you've never met before and don't know, to try to body shame in that, like that's not a good look. That is bullying, that is harassment, it's
yeah,
terrible. And shout out to Destanee for standing up and reposting that. You can
yeah.
check on Destinee's
Go show
Instagram
some
page.
support, man. Check her Instagram out. She's a good tennis player, and not only calling her fat, but this fool's over here telling a person who has dedicated a lot of their time into being a pro tennis player. She's not like,
Professional, yeah.
yeah, she's not on the road to being a pro, or she's not like just starting this out. She's a pro. She plays on the pro circuit, and she wins. And you got some dude out here telling her that she's trash and she's not very good at tennis.
You're not good at tennis. You're big. You're fat. Stuff like that. First
Yeah,
of all, shut up. Hey, show your picture. Actually, use
that
your
too,
fake
man.
AI profile pic.
Or bring your tennis racket out and go play her,
Yo,
so we can see that. Like,
bruh, for
bruh,
that part, like there, and I go back to that those kids talking smack to Brian Scalabrine, talking about
oh
how
man,
LeBron punked
I
you. It's
love
like,
those
yeah,
kids.
yeah, yeah. LeBron might punk me, but to you,
Yeah,
I am LeBron. I
exactly.
freaking
Even like, I mean, Cam Newton at the camps when people were, trolling him about like, oh, no rings, and stuff like that. And he's like, well, yeah, I mean, I put this camp on. I mean, how much money do you have? I mean, like at that point, that is valid. If you're in the league, if you're playing in the league and you're still vying for a championship, fine. I get it. You can't just throw your money out because you're trying to win the championship. But he's retired. You don't care.
yeah.
Like,
It's like you never did anything. It's like
right.
you're wearing the wristband to my camp right
That's what
now.
I mean. Yeah, like you wouldn't be here if I didn't put the money out for this. So
No.
like, stop playing.
People are wilding. We know that social media has opened up the avenue for this
Oh
type
man,
of bullying and harassment to like just
it's
be really
why.
accessible. You can
Yep.
send messages to anyone on Instagram, like so this kind of bullying has opened up. But it's still no place in sports, no place in our community, and like between Polynesians, Pacific Islanders, no place in raising kids. But this
There's
person
not
is just
enough.
another internet troll who is not
Yeah.
showing their real picture, who's talking smack. But Destanee actually went in and was DMing them back and forth and like asking, "Yo, what's up with this? Why do you feel the need to call me fat? Why do you go around and do that?" And they were the troll was saying, "I have the right to my opinion. You just don't like my opinion." It's
Of
like
course you don't.
she said it perfectly, bro. Body shaming is not a freaking opinion. Okay, that's just hate and
No,
trash.
it's not.
And
Right.
we encourage people listening to this. If you ever think about bad mouthing someone in public, don't do it. Just let it go.
Think twice
Just
before
let
you
it.
open your
Just
mouth. Right.
man, yeah,
But
or be
yeah,
writing stuff like this on the internet just because they
yeah.
can't see you from behind the keyboard. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's not a good look. Be better. Be better. Let's be better and let's be supportive. Uh, not
I
only
hope
of our freaking people or yeah.
yeah, I hope that person gets hit with the tennis ball in the eye somewhere.
Just like a forehand, just like an
Yeah.
overhand jump serve, an
Oh,
anime tennis jump serve right to the
I'm
face.
talking about.
Yeah, non-violent stuff. All right, and let's get into football as we do here on this show. Former Dolphins head coach Mike McDaniels, who has been, Tua Tagovailoa's coach for the last couple of years and helped him and their offense, is now signing to be the offensive coordinator for the Los Angeles Chargers and quarterback Justin Herbert.
Look,
This, I feel, is one of the best possibilities after the Chargers let go of Greg Roman, just kind of plodding along, running. This is definitely a lot more exciting. The bar was set really low, but now I feel like this is a hype signing. This is something that's good, that's going to help the offense get a lot more open, find a lot more of these quote unquote easy buttons, and not make it look so dang hard out there for Justin Herbert and the Chargers. But what did you think when you saw Mike McDaniel was signing with the Chargers?
it's gonna be a two-part answer. The first part is gonna be me as an analyst. Because so as an analyst, yes, we look back at how he was able to develop Tua Tagovailoa after Brian Flores kind of just really gave up on him, didn't want to work with him, and then
Literally.
yeah, and so I get it if you don't like your quarterback, but the way Brian Flores went about it was just like Tua was trash. McDaniel came in, worked with him, gave him confidence, built him up. Yeah, they didn't win the Super Bowl together, but they did. He really brought out the most, I think, into a despite the injuries and everything else, it was a good pairing. They, they brought some guys in, put up some big numbers on offense, and that's what you're supposed to do. Obviously, getting to the Super Bowl was your ultimate goal, but they didn't reach that. So with him going over to San Diego, it just sounds better than the LA Chargers.
I
Anyway,
understand. Yeah.
with him going over to the Chargers, yeah, the development I think that Herbert's going to get is going to be pretty cool and just not really like a personal development, but I think him being able to learn from him and the offensive system that's going to be implemented there is going to really help Herbert. I don't think he's had that with any of the coordinators or head coaches, and the poor guy has gone through some
Mm,
coordinators and head coaches in his career.
bro, this
Yeah,
is Justin Herbert's fifth offensive
there
coordinator.
you go.
He's
There
been in
you
the
go.
league for 5 years, It's
Yeah,
6 years since 2000. Okay,
so like well, he's averaging a coordinator a season,
pretty
and
much, pretty much.
yeah, so hopefully it'll be more stability for him. At least he's got this head coach for more than a season, which is cool. We like Mr. Harbaugh.
Yeah, yeah.
That's cool, and I think a lot of things are gonna be geared more to what Herbert can do as a thrower before it was geared to more what he can do as a warrior.
As a survivor.
Survivor.
How many hits can you take while your receivers try to get open?
Right. Like, I know you can throw, but can you run? So as a quarterback, I think it's going to be great for him. I think it's going to be good for Hampton. I think guys like Trey Harris complement what Mike McDaniel's going to want to do with the offense. He's got a deep threat in Johnson, so he's got everything. Gaston Orlando, is that his name? The tight end?
Rondé Gaston Jr.
Rondé Gaston.
The second.
That's why he sounds, because he's a junior. That's right. I think, those guys are going to be really great. The one thing I think they're going to have to fix is obviously their O-line. They get guys back. I know there's going to be a lot of free agent movement going along, so the line, they can help.
There's potential to like add some pieces and turn this around real quick with all the people that you're getting back from injury. I expect the O-line to be,
they'll be fine. They'll be fine. Even
like good. I expect them to be better than decent. Just returning Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater, and like whatever happens in the middle. I expect the line to be good. The receivers to get better every year. Their second, third, fourth years in the league now, getting better.
Hey, look,
and just hit the ground running. No, I mean Quentin Johnson is going to be in his fourth year, and people are recognizing, he got some motion, right? He can.
No, I think
he can catch.
It wasn't a big breakout, but he broke out last year because people were really, all they could talk about was how fast he was and how many catches he would drop. But last year he showed up. He got hurt, and that kind of stunted like the growth he was showing last year. But he showed up. He broke out. Now, speaking from Raiders fan point of view, the signing's overrated. Like,
No.
It's overrated. Mike McDaniel, what did he do in Miami? Nothing.
No.
Where is Tua going? To the bench, possibly home after the offseason.
This is some
they're not even talking about signing him or re-signing him. They could be moving up. They could be offering something. I don't know what they have to offer in Miami, but we're not going to take a head case quarterback. When I say head case, I don't mean like he's crazy. I just mean he's got a couple of cases he needs to fix in his head right now. But no one else wanted him as a head coach, so it was like, hey, look.
That's not true.
Overrated signing, but I think it's on par for LA right now. Overrated.
I'm saying overrated. This guy is like,
I think
Mike McDaniel is the Raiders coach.
The minute he left the Las Vegas facility and didn't want to sign with it, I knew by that.
It's like, this guy is not the guy.
Not the guy. Overrated. You don't need him on your team. Nobody wants him.
Mike McDaniel, offensive whiz kid, before he got the job with the Dolphins. He is now 42. He started in 2005 as a coaching intern with Mike Shanahan.
He started as a videographer, like a video guy. That's how he started. Kind of like the same story as
Eric Spoelstra.
Yes, whatever his last name is, Spoelstra.
Sorry.
See,
Stefanski.
You want to say something about Stefanski, and now I'm over here. Spoelstra. Because he's Filipino, huh? And I'm Filipino. I got you.
I thought it was so right.
Guy. But man, what a great story. For these guys, this guy over here can't even pronounce people's names.
Wait, but then McDaniel started with Mike Shanahan. He went to the Texans with Gary Kubiak. He's been working with Kyle Shanahan with the Browns, the Falcons, the 49ers. Was the run game coordinator when things were popping with San Francisco, I think before they got Christian McCaffrey. So like for 20...
This guy's crediting Mike McDaniel's.
Mike McDaniel was the reason that offensive run game was going. He was the run game coordinator. He's the coordinator. Sure. 2021 as offensive coordinator, and then 4 years as the Dolphins head coach, where he ended up with a 500 record, 30, 35, and 35, including 0-2 in the postseason.
Definitely coming from a great coaching tree for either coach, for any of the coaches that he coached under. So he learned a lot. That's great for him.
But that makes me kind of worried. That makes me think, were you the reason or was Kyle Shanahan the reason? And I lean towards Shanahan. I lean towards the head coach, like being, and his identity, Shanahan's identity of having good offenses already. But I'm hoping Mike McDaniel can kind of take that. And that's when I was like looking around at Mike McDaniel offensive schemes and kind of explaining it. It one of the things that it's not like a singular thing that he builds it around, but a bunch of different parts of systems that he's learned growing as a coach. The thing that you notice the most visually is all the motion, and pre-snap motion I am down for using that. Not just to get a guy across the formation, because you could have just started with that guy, across the formation at the beginning of the after you broke the huddle. But using that motion,
what fun is that?
Using that motion, though, the defense has to kind of change their alignment, right? If there's two guys on the left, two guys on the right, but one of the guys motions over, now there's three guys on the left. The defense has to figure out, how can we keep our play, but get in better position to defend this new offensive change, this new offensive position that they're going to. What is that? Formation. So using snaps, using pre-snap motion to get information has helped Tua, throw these wide open timing throws, throw these throws where it's like, how did he know there was going to be opening right there? It's because the information, the linebacker moved all the way over to the sideline to go with that running back, stuff like that. So I'm hoping that information also is kind of used with Justin Herbert, and he's able to affect some good freaking offense this year.
For sure. I mean, he doesn't have as many concussions as Tua, so I'm pretty sure
that too. Well, and then the connection between Herbert and Tua got drafted 5th overall, by the Dolphins and Brian Flores, and then Herbert got drafted 6th right after to go to the Chargers. So Mike McDaniels goes from the 5th overall pick to the 6th overall pick, and now we're gonna kind of be able to compare the results. Like if Justin Herbert does a lot better, then people are going to be look to that as another reason. Like, oh, you can point to Justin Herbert doing better in Mike McDaniel's offense than Tua did as a reason why Justin Herbert's a better quarterback than Tua. Tua, though, like you said, he's got so many injuries that it kind of derailed what the Dolphins had set up. They made the playoffs the first 2 seasons that Mike McDaniel became the head coach over there, but with all the injuries to Tua, that thing kind of the timing especially all fell apart. And I think that was another thing that when you do these like timing offenses, when you do have injuries, it kind of crumbles, because if you have an offensive line that can't be precise, if you have receivers that don't know to run exact routes, then the system kind of falls apart a little bit. Another thing that we can expect is the weirdness. Just like Mike McDaniel's openness and comfort with appearing not normal, right? And just giving off the ball answers, off the wall kind of just demeanor and stuff like that. And I'm like, that's perfect. Like, I feel like Jim Harbaugh is like, yeah, you want to be weird, but as long as you get the offense, I don't care. I'll accept you. I'll, praise you. I'll, big up you in the media and stuff like that. And then trying to think how that connection is going to be between McDaniel and Herbert. Like, is it?
That's for sure, because Justin Herbert has given us some really weird answers to some of the questions he's been asked in some of the interviews.
I feel like it's like just stock answers where it's like, yeah, team first, good quarterback, yes,
He's a robot. Yeah, he's AI created. Definitely.
I mean, the answer is like, well, he knows that like the best thing for him is to just keep plugging away, keep being a great quarterback, keep making this money, and also stay out of like any crazy answers. But I do want to see more of that, like real, just like, asking a follow-up question where he kind of breaks down. He's like, oh, actually, I do have to answer this for real. Like that. Yeah. That's what I want to hear more from Justin Herbert.
That's why I love that interview where he was like, hey, I'm not trying to do this interview right now. I'm trying to go celebrate with my teammates. That was real.
Something.
Like, I like that. That's what I mean. Oh, yeah. I was like, yo, get the mic out of my face, girl. I'm trying to go hang out with my homies.
Yeah, it's like, my defense just won us the game. Let me go congratulate them.
Right. So,
you give him time, and he's just like, they're a real good team. We tried really hard. Okay, good game, stuff like that. Yeah. So, another thing for Mike McDaniel's offense is the run game. You talk about the 49ers, Mostert, Devon Achane, And I thought this was more stretch running, right? Like get to the outside, use those speedy guys to get up the sideline and stuff like that. But according to the Mike McDaniel offensive scheme article that I was reading, it's interior, it's A and B gap. It's run the ball well up the middle with some small cutback lanes that also then bring the secondary up so you can go deeper and use the play action. I am all for that. I know Jim Harbaugh is all for that. Be a run first team, smash mouth team, kind of the way the Seahawks did the 49ers last week. They have one of the best passing offenses in the league this season. Didn't even need to use it. Just defense and run game. And they won by 5 touchdowns. That is the Jim Harbaugh, like that's what they want to do, right? So whatever that 70-point game the Dolphins had against the Broncos 3 years ago before their teams switched fates for the rest of the
for the rest. Yeah.
Like that's the potential that offense has. So and then but using also the run game to just pound, bring the defense up, and then take shots over the top with some misdirection, all those crazy motions, jet motion, orbit motion, jet sweeps. That is a level of ingenuity. That's not even ingenuity anymore. It's like 10 years into the league now. People are using motion and stuff. But that is the level. That's a huge step up for how the Chargers have been playing freaking offense for the last 15 years. Like even with Phillip Rivers, we didn't motion that much. Like it's just line it up and let the quarterback pick them out. And I don't know if the defenses have been, able to react faster or play that better, but yeah, having this tool, this misdirection piece, I think hopefully is huge and kind of opens it up for Justin Herbert. We can't have another season with Justin Herbert taking 100 hits, being pressured more than half the time. That's just because it's not conducive to winning, right? It's not good enough. It's not good enough. So glad that the Chargers were able to sign Mike McDaniel, a coach many other teams would have had as their head coach, being, doing what he loves, maybe a little less stressful, like low pressure. Like you don't have to be a coach running everything. You can just come in, work the offense, maybe build yourself into another head coach candidate down the road. But Mike McDaniel working for Jim Harbaugh, working with Justin Herbert, fixing this offense. I am very, very excited, as you can tell by the 20 minutes we just spent talking about
it. Hey, look, if you guys don't really watch football and you're trying to understand pre-snap motion, if you've ever played like schoolyard football and you guys do like imagine that, just having guys run across before you hike the ball when you were playing in the schoolyard, and how it disorientated the kids on the other side and they couldn't figure it out. So yeah, that's pretty much what it is. And
I mean, when you're playing schoolyard, it's man, right? So if your guy starts motioning, you gotta follow him. Hey, that's your guy. Go get him.
Right. And to all the 49ers fans, Lance didn't mean that, guys. There was no animosity behind those comments.
What? He was the run game coordinator from 2017 to 2020.
As you can see, what Seattle did to the 49ers last weekend.
Mopped them! Oh, my goodness. The Seattle Seahawks scored more in the first 5 seconds than the Niners did for the entire game. I think we don't need to rehash old things.
No,
Seppa was like, "What even is football? Why do people bother with this? That's so childish. It's a game. Why are you so wrapped up in it?"
Definitely. I mean, I've been having conversations with 49ers fans all week, and they all haven't been very kind. But
they haven't been kind.
But I think Mike McDaniel is a good signing there. I think he's going to do great with Justin Herbert.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah, and I think the trend for coordinators going back to being coordinators after having a tough year as a head coach, or tough years, maybe. I think that's a good trend. Go back to what you know, learn your basics again, maybe, and then get back to Robert Saleh took a break from head coaching, took a beat up defense.
Yep.
Sorry, San Francisco, we're not beating up on you today. It's just falling that way. But took a beat up defense and took them all the way to the playoffs. Won a game, beat a good playoff team, lost to a good playoff team. But the way he was able to string that defense together with all the injuries that he had on that side, the scheming, the personnel choices that he made with putting guys on the field. Yeah. So good for him. He gets to go back and be a coach again out in Tennessee. So for McDaniel, hope it works out. It worked out for the other McDaniel out in New England. He went back to being a
Yeah.
coordinator after being a crappy coach. I was going to say bad
With the
word.
Broncos and the Raiders. They're
Right.
saying Josh McDaniels is supposed to get head coaching opportunities, but no one should hire him because
Yeah.
just leave him with
Just
Drake May. Just let him
right.
do that.
Let him. I think his powers leave him when he leaves New England. I think that's what it is. I think
Yeah.
he's got a
That's like, yeah.
yeah. So
All right. Speaking of head coaches that have taken jobs, new head coaching jobs that have been filled so far. John Harbaugh signs with the New York Giants, right?
shiny new toys over there with Jackson Dart and Cam Scadaboo, who should be back from an ankle injury.
Sure. He also said it's the Giants. I had to take that job.
It's New York.
That's
It's
fine.
New York. It is.
Kevin Stefanski, fired from the Browns, is now the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, hired by Matt Ryan. So he's going
No
to have to
brainer.
figure out Penix, and he's got some weapons there for sure.
Sure.
The Tennessee Titans hired Robert Saleh as their head coach. Saleh
Well,
was the former head coach of the New York Giants before getting fired because of Aaron Rodgers, and then worked as the San Francisco defensive coordinator this year. Jeff Hafley, defensive coordinator for Green Bay, is now the head coach of the Miami Dolphins.
yeah.
All right, so there we go. Falcons, Dolphins, Giants, Titans. All right, so those are the jobs that are taken. Right, Saleh, Hafley, Harbaugh, Stefanski. There are 6 jobs open right now. The Buffalo Bills. Oh, also, the Buffalo Bills fired Sean McDermott this week after being bounced from the NFL playoffs. That was very surprising. Sean McDermott, 9 years. I think they went to the playoffs 8 times. But the fact that they had Josh Allen and didn't make it to the Super Bowl or to the AFC Championship round is probably why, Sean McDermott is going to be the Raiders' next coach. Buffalo Bills are free. The Cleveland Browns fired Stefanski. The Arizona Cardinals are still open after letting go of Jonathan Gannon. The Baltimore Ravens still looking for a head coach to replace John Harbaugh. The New York Jets. Who is the Jets coach? I'm like, who even was the Jets coach?
Look, right now, I don't even think Jesus wants to go over there and coach.
It's not the Jets. The Jets have a coach. I'm sorry. It's not the Jets. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers. Oh, sorry, Aaron Glenn.
Aaron Glenn still there.
Damn, my bad.
You still get to watch him run up and down the sidelines next year.
Yo, he was sprinting. He was sprinting.
He was. He was.
All right.
Fired. Lance is fired.
My bad. My bad, Aaron Glenn. I know you guys didn't get an interception, but that's fine. Looking at these 6 available jobs, the Baltimore Ravens and the Buffalo Bills stand out because they have MVP quarterbacks, right? So to get to work with Lamar Jackson, to get to work with Josh Allen is a big boost to teams that are trying to get a new head coach. The Browns, Cardinals, Raiders, Steelers, they don't have quarterbacks really, but they have, different stuff. I feel like Vegas, as far as a roster, does have, great offensive pieces. Brock Bowers, Ashton Genty. Defense, you have Max Crosby, something to work with there. It's also in Vegas, which is probably the best city available out of all these. Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Buffalo, Baltimore, cold, no need. Okay.
True. Not to forget, also, we do have a quarterback. You just have to pick him with the number 1 pick that's in their pocket.
Oh, I don't, man. I'm hoping you guys make whatever you guys decide to do is, works out. I just like, if you guys trade the pick, especially now that he's the Heisman Trophy winning national champion, someone's going to give you like 2-3 first round picks for that.
Yeah, they got cap space. Yes, there's a ton of holes you got to fix, but you got a guy like Mendoza. Look, that's what you do with the number one pick in the draft, and that's what the draft is for. There's teams that have built through the draft, and people are always like, "You can't build through the draft. You can." So you go and take the quarterback available. Every draft is going to be a lottery pick. It doesn't matter because you don't know what they're going to do in the NFL. It doesn't matter what they did in college. You're taking a chance on somebody. Uh, sure, you can trade the pick and get a whole bunch of picks for. But look, the Raiders did that once. Those guys aren't even with the Raiders anymore. Nobody except for Max Crosby when they took like a haul for like, they had a bunch of picks. Max Crosby's the only guy that stayed from the same draft that they got Josh Jacobs with, and Cleveland Farrell and a whole bunch of offensive linemen. So that I get what people are saying when they get a haul. No, draft the guy you got. You got 10 picks anyway in the draft. How much more of a haul do you need? The offensive line, the quarterback, everything in this draft, it's going to be a weaker draft. Like, and you want us to wait another year? There's no way. Fans aren't going to wait another year. Um, just no way. There's going to be another year for the Raiders to be like, let's be shitty again like this season without even trying, and then we'll try again next year. That's not how it goes. So you take Mendoza, you get guys with the gigantic cap space that you have right now, and you work through it and you build around the guys that you have now. So yeah, so all of you that want to trade for the pick, go away.
I work here. I have to say. Yeah, no. Hopefully Mendoza is that guy. And yeah, you guys do have a lot of picks, but I think the thinking of taking more, because it is a lottery, right? So it's a lottery. You don't know what's going to happen, whether it's the first pick, whether it's the 255th pick, right?
Right.
So if it's a lottery, get more lottery tickets.
No, because then you just have more chances to be wrong. You take the one.
Yeah, no. If you're at like 25%, if you're gonna get 25% of them right, if you have 4 tickets, you're gonna get 1 hit. If you have 20 tickets, you're gonna get 5 hits. You get more tickets is what
you are both degenerate gamblers. It doesn't always work like that.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Play the numbers. If it's not certain that the guy's going to be the guy, get more tickets. Try more players.
There are holes, a lot of them on the Raiders team, but I don't think as many as people think. They got 2 pretty good offensive linemen already: Colton Miller, Jackson Powers, and some of the guys that they have now show promises here. So of course, development wise, you're gonna hope that they develop, but you go with that. That's already a chance you're taking. So without even having to trade, pick guys that you might not pan out. You're taking that chance. You keep Max Crosby, and then, again, guys on the defensive side that were okay at the end of the season, they started to come around, and that's what I think the league right now, they don't have the patience anymore because it's a win now league. It's always been a win now, but the patience has run out even a little bit more. And guys aren't really getting developed. So right now the Raiders have a chance to develop guys, also be better, stay with the pick. And I get it. Everybody, the trade for sure. That's also a really good scenario. You trade the first pick for multiple first round picks, not maybe in this draft, but also in next year's draft. Or as the rumors are going around, you trade him for a guy like Lamar Jackson, who I don't think would be feasible because you want to win now. And again, you still have hosts to fill. So, yeah, I mean, the Raiders could go a lot of different ways. For me, I'd really love to just draft Mendoza. I see right now developing Jared Goff in him. I think that's my comparison for him. And Jared Goff isn't a bad quarterback. I like Jared Goff, so yeah.
Like a Jared Goff type, like a Fernando Mendoza would be Jared Goff.
I mean, even and if we're just going off of measurables too, it's kind of the same build, Uh, it's got a lively arm, probably about the same arm strength as Goff, which isn't going to get people jumping off the charts, but I think he can make all the throws. I think the only knock that came off of him was that he was working in an RPO system, so it was a run read system. As to where you're in the NFL, you're going to have to make reads. So a lot of people are going to question whether or not he can really read a defense because he was working off a one read offense. But yeah, I mean, a lot of it also is going to come down to who they pick as coach, which brings us back to what we were actually talking about. So, if they go defensive, I don't mind. Like, you still need a strong defense, but I really do hope, excuse me, the offensive coordinator is a guy like Clint Kubiak or Davis Webb, guys who are, like you said, like Mike McDaniel, innovative in the game, who are thinking of different ways to go, and finding new ways to develop players, maximize their strengths. So offensive coordinator, I think for me, definitely head coach is like super important. That's the biggest part, but I think offensive coordinator for them is going to be just as important as who they pick as head coach to develop whoever is there and pick up schemes. So like you were super excited to talk about, you got Mike McDaniel, so you know the scheme they're going to run. You know what they're going to do, all the pre-motions, how they're going to use Omar and Hampton as a cutback runner up the middle, because he can do that. He can cut back that one cutback, and he's got enough speed to be gone. But he's a tough runner inside as well, so that's going to work out pretty well for him, depending on the line who they have at the beginning of the season. For Raiders fans, we still have to speculate on what they're going to do as an offense at this moment. So yeah.
Are there any like dark horse NFL coaches out there that you want to be leading the Raiders?
Sure. McDermott, as far as a head coach candidate, I think is a great one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he fell short every time he went to the playoffs with Buffalo, and people were, oh, he had like all of this with him. He had Josh Allen, he had Cook. Didn't have any receivers, by the way, guys. Yes, he had Diggs 1 year, but no one's talking about that. He didn't really have receivers. Keon Coleman was supposed to be that guy that developed, but I don't think they're giving him a fair shake out there either, because even the owner comes out and is like, I didn't want to pick Keon Coleman. So I don't think he's getting a fair shake out there.
Wow.
Yeah, he said it wasn't his pick. So yeah, that and they're playing in that god awful weather. Like it takes Brett Favre to win in that weather. But I think a change of scenery is good for him. He, again, a guy that takes his teams to the playoffs. The Raiders haven't been to the playoffs in a while, so be good to see.
With the Bills for 9 years, and they made the playoffs in 8 years. They made the playoffs 8 times. I'd take that for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And I think he would attract like a lot of younger coordinators to come over, or not even coordinators. So a lot of the guys I hope the Raiders are looking at for either head coach or coordinator are guys like Davis Webb, young guy, Kubiak, the younger Kubiak. Yep, Clint Kubiak. I like him. Nathan Shieldhouse. All these guys are. Jesse Minter also is another good name. Defensive wise, it's like for a head coach. I like Jesse Minter. He was with still actually. Sorry, I was about to say formerly, but he hasn't left the LA Chargers yet. He's still there with them, just taking interviews. Even Chris Shula. Chris Shula is another name out there.
Defensive coordinator for the Rams.
The younger Mike LaFleur. He's out there. Another name you mentioned today that I saw too is Joe Brady.
No, thank you. No, it was Chargers.
Yeah,
for a while.
There's a lot of names. So, my number one was Mike McDaniel for all the reasons that you have, and you're excited for him to be in LA. I was excited for pre-snaps to have Brock Bowers run across that lane and have linebackers just like, oh crap.
Yeah. Oh, now we got to figure this out.
So yeah, it would have been cool. It would have been hella cool. Hold on, I think I'm connected to something else because I can't hear you.
Oh, you can't hear me? You can't hear me, or you don't want to hear me? Which is it? Not. All right. We are now moving.
Good offensive coordinator.
You get one offensive coordinator. All right. We are moving on to the championship round. Only 2 games this week, and they are for a trip to represent your conference in Super Bowl 60. Let's start with the AFC. I think the AFC game is first. The Denver Broncos survived the Buffalo Bills 33-30 in overtime last week. The New England Patriots finally beat the Texans 28-16, and the Patriots will travel to number 1 seed Denver Broncos for the AFC championship. The Patriots are probably going to be favored here because the Broncos don't have a quarterback. The Broncos do not have their starting quarterback. The Broncos.
Jarrett Stidham.
Yeah, that is. Sorry, Jarrett. Jarrett Stidham will be taking over for Bo Nix as Nix injured a foot bone, fractured it in last week's overtime win versus the Broncos. I think it was like one of the last plays, but it didn't seem like it was a crazy like big bone because Fu was walking around. He was walking around after the game. And then Sean Payton, after his press conference, came back out like an hour later and said, "Oh, by the way, Bo Nix out for the rest of the playoffs, broken foot. He's going to have surgery." So he had surgery on Tuesday, and Jarrett Stidham will be facing New England Patriots, Drake May, and the Patriots defense. The Patriots are a 5.5-point favorite on the road in Denver because Bo Nix is not there. This game is going to be at 12 o'clock. So it's another one of those 12 o'clock, 3:30 starts, okay? First game is at 12 Pacific. Second game on Sunday is at 3:30. Not the 10 o'clock, not the 1 o'clock, not the 5 o'clock. You're going to miss the games. It's at 12 o'clock and 3:30. 12 o'clock on CBS. Patriots at Broncos. Who do you got? And why?
Raiders. I'm a real fan.
The Raiders.
No, I like the Patriots, man. I like Drake May. I like everything Vrabel has gone and done down there. At the expense of Jared Mayo. I think he didn't get a fair shake. I just had to mention that. I thought Jared Mayo would have been a good coach, but again, the Kraft legacy out there is anyway. Yeah.
Can I call an old white man racist?
I mean, if a cat is a cat, you gotta call it a cat. You know what I mean? That's not the word I was gonna use, but cat's fine right now. Anyway, Josh McDaniel has gone down there and taken guys that were previously there with other offensive coordinators, and people were talking about like, nah, we got to get new guys in here. And now Kayshon Bouttie's out there like killing guys. You know what I mean? At receiver. Drake May, people already, they drafted him high, and people knew he was going to get developed. And look at him now. He's balling out there. Drake May's that guy. Also, yeah. So I like them. I like the way they're moving. I like the way Mike Vrabel has them just locked in, really. So, and nothing against the Broncos. Actually, everything against the Broncos. I definitely hope they don't make it. So
that's also kind of where I'm leaning. Yeah. That whole like Patriots hate of the last 2 decades, Tom Brady, being the best and the Patriots winning all the time, that is being re-injected into my veins like when Thanos got the 6th Infinity Stone and just I'm feeling it all over again. The Patriots hate.
Drake May's he's likable. I think Drake May's likable right now.
That is the problem.
Yeah.
Drake May is not like an a-hole like Tom Brady was at certain points.
Yeah.
Mike Vrabel possibly could have that kind of demeanor as a coach, but he does not give off that Bill Belichick refusing to answer questions at the press conference, trying to be coy, trying to be like sneaky genius. Mike Vrabel just lines it up and goes, but there seems like a standard being held there. And unfortunately, it's hard not to like these Patriots.
For sure. And
they're about to go to the Super Bowl.
Mike Vrabel, ex-linebacker, probably a guy you don't want to be in his face. You want
yeah.
He looks pretty fit too. It looks like he could play today, honestly.
If the Broncos pull off this upset at home with Jarrett Stidham, what do you think it looks like, and why do you think it happens? Do you think there's like an injury, a bomb threat at the Mile High Stadium or something? How do the Broncos win this game?
That the moment might be too much for Drake May. That's the only reason why. That he'll get to that point and he just can't function the way he's been functioning all year. The moment just gets too big for him and he folds under that pressure. But I don't see that happening. Or same thing with Mike Vrabel. I don't think he's been this far before with a team, and but him and McDaniel have been to Super Bowls together. Vrabel as a player and McDaniel as a coordinator again, or even just a staffer. So I think it would be just because Drake May isn't ready for the moment. That's the only reason why I think.
This is not going to be like a quarterback versus quarterback setup. There's like, oh, Drake May, Bo Nix, who's going to do better? I see this more as Drake May versus Sean Payton, the Broncos head coach, because he chose Jarrett Stidham as his backup quarterback. I think he also had him in New Orleans for a little bit.
Yeah, he held on to him. He was, he came from another great program before he went over there.
Stidham was with Tom Brady and the Patriots, yeah?
No, he was with the Raiders.
Yeah. Why'd you say great?
Because we have 3 Super Bowls and
whoa. Which one did Jarrett Stidham help with?
Hey, he just becomes part of the legend.
Hey, you're once a Raider, always. Come on.
But
Jarrett Stidham isn't, seen as like a starting quarterback. So, but Sean Payton has been, saying this guy's going to be ready. We know Stiddy is prepared for the moment, and he's going to do good. And it's like this is going to be more Sean Payton's offensive scheme and play calling to keep up with New England Patriots quarterback Drake May.
You're exactly right. He's not viewed as a starting quarterback long term, but when he has gotten starts, he's performed. He's won some pretty big games for the teams that he's played for. When he's had to win, we've seen really great things from him. I don't think you can rely on him the whole season, but I think for the rest of the way, I think the Broncos are pretty good hands. I don't think they aren't giving him a fair shake at him being the starter for them for the rest. I mean, they did go and sign DiNucci to their practice squad.
So, wow, Ben DiNucci's back.
Yeah, so they are just preparing, but either way. I think Drake May has those skills. I think Josh McDaniel has the guys he needs to scheme it up. And Mike Vrabel doesn't look like it, but I think he's like one of those guys, kind of like AP, where guys want to play for him. Like they're gonna go through a lot just to win a game for a coach.
Yeah.
So I like the Patriots.
All right, we both got the Patriots beating the Broncos in Denver to advance to the Super Bowl. Let's see who we think they might be facing. On the other side, in the NFC, we have another game where it's Mike versus Sean. Mike McDonald and Sean McVay, the Rams and the Seahawks in Seattle, 3:30 on Fox on Sunday for the NFC Championship. The Seattle Seahawks are a 2.5-point favorite in this game. The Rams, though, I think the Seahawks would have definitely preferred to see the Bears. The Rams kind of, being in the NFC West, seeing the Seahawks twice a year, Mike McDonald, Sean McVay, having to put their teams up against each other for like 2 years now since Mike McDonald has been in Seattle. McVay, just having an ever-changing offensive philosophy and working with the rosters and stuff like that. This one's definitely going to be tough. Defense versus offense. We know that defense has won out over this season. The Seahawks are 14-3, having one of the best defenses in the league, and they just came off of, beating the San Francisco 49ers. The Rams, with that overtime win versus the Bears, both of these teams ready to duke it out. A divisional rematch, rival rematch.
Yeah.
So this is one of those where you get to face your division rival for a third time in the playoffs for a trip to the Super Bowl. Matt Stafford might be the MVP this year. Puka Nacua, we think, should be getting MVP votes, at least MVP talk.
Yeah.
They have a decent run game. They have other, Devontae Adams, other wide receivers that are also showing up in clutch moments. So the Rams' offensive line and their young defense that is probably underrated, at least to me. I don't really think about them as one of those, the Seahawks or the Texans kind of defenses. But the Rams got some guys there, right?
Yeah,
the Rams got some young guys. Jared Verse definitely comes to mind.
Wrecking people. Yep.
Just like kind of taking that Aaron Donald, position and just being a wrecker. Not to that level, of course, but having that on your defense puts you up. And then the Seahawks, like we said, they had one of the best passing offenses in the league this season. Didn't even use it last week. So we're going to expect to see the best of these teams. I think Seattle tries to run 3 tight ends, but still pass out of it. Like if you see the Rams come out with, I don't know if the Seahawks also do this, having lots of tight ends on the field, and then the defense has to decide, are we going to put linebackers out there to cover tight ends and probably defend against these run plays? Or are we going to stay in our nickel defense with more cornerbacks, smaller bodies, but a lot more range and speed to be able to cover? And either way, the Rams or the Seahawks, when they line up in these heavy tight end formations, are going to have to do whatever the defense is daring them to do. If the Seahawks are in 3 tight end formation and the Rams come out in nickel, expect Kenneth Walker to eat. Expect Kenneth Walker to be like, yeah, I'll go up against 6 DBs any day. I think Zach Charbonnet has a season-ending injury, like a bad leg injury. So I don't know who the backup for Seattle is going to be, but having Charbonnet, who is actually like the 1B and 1A sometimes for their run game, is going to be a big deal. So this is definitely going to be a lot more fun to watch, right? These are 2 teams kind of at the top of their powers and might not be the friendliest, even though, they see each other a lot. So, and a freaking trip to the Super Bowl. Do you have are you leaning any which way for these teams?
The Rams, for sure.
The Rams? Because you don't like the Seahawks, or you think they have a good chance to? Is it as an analyst?
I live in Seattle, man. Are you trying to get me cooked out here?
I actually wanted to ask you about that. You're even closer to Seattle than I am. And I'm already seeing more Seahawks, hoodies out here. People are like, oh, I got to leave work. I got to go, catch the game. And I'm like, yeah, do that. But I'm seeing more people wear Seahawks stuff. And that's just in Portland. I wanted to ask you, what's like the feel of the Seahawks hype right now? Is it confident? Is it overconfident? What would you?
I think it's a little bit of both. Again, illegal activities going on when they win. I don't condone it, but fireworks were going off the other night when they won. Not just at the stadium, but around. Like, I live in
the neighborhood.
Yeah. But look, they won. There were winners before with Pete Carroll, of course, and his Legion of Boom and Russell and Beast Mode. So I get it. It's fun for them to be back in there, and the city has something to cheer for again with their Seattle Series. They've been waiting for a little bit, and it's cool. True. With Sam Darnold, that story is great. Coming back here to not coming back here, but coming to Seattle and proving to everybody that he's not just this system quarterback where he went over and played over in Kevin O'Connell's system. And so great. And they, again, proves my point, building your team through the draft, because they literally have built that team through the draft. Of course, Darnold coming over in a free agency, but their corners were drafted. They drafted Kenneth Walker. They drafted Charbonnet. Jigma Smith drafted him, So guys Arroyo, their tight end they drafted this year. Guys that they picked through the draft, their old line they fixed through the draft as well. So super great to see for them. But McVay is that guy right now. You see every team right now looking for a head coach. They're looking for guys that coached in the McVay coaching tree. Like, they're really looking for guys who coached on the McVay. See a lot of the head coaches in the league, all McVay guys. So
right, yeah.
So I like McVay as far as him being able to scheme around the players that he has. Like, he's got a really great running back in. We're talking about Puka already. We talked about Stafford being MVP. Those 2 guys, but Kyron Williams, man, underrated as a running back. Just ask anybody who's played him in fantasy football.
For real.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
I'm sure
he just shows up and produces every freaking week.
Again, we said Jared Verse on defense, but their defensive line is pretty stout. The schemes they run for their DBs. So I like the Rams. But Seattle's peaking at the right time. Like you said, they didn't even have to throw. They didn't have to throw much against a team that we've already said we won't mention them. We'll save them the hurt. But I still like the Rams.
Once you're out, no more mention your name.
Right. With a team we shall not name. But yeah, I like the Rams for the McVay, just for that alone, just for McVay being their head coach.
Man, I can't imagine Matthew Stafford, Puka Nacua, Sean McVay going into Seattle and just like falling on their face. Yeah. I expect this to, even if they do get smacked with a Rashid Shaheed 97-yard touchdown to start the game, I expect them to be professionals and be like, we know, there's a lot of game left.
No folding.
Yeah. Don't fold it in. Just be out there. I don't know how to pick this one. The Seahawks, especially at home.
You can do it. I know you don't like seeing
with the nest
early from work when you're working and some.
No, that's the thing too. I'm biased for the Seahawks, and I'm trying to get that out of my head right now. It's like, oh, do you just want everyone in your region to be happy? Oh, hey, how selfish. How about you analyze the game, Lance? Damn.
It was cool. Like, I loved their fans before, and then they started winning, and then they all turned into...
Because they were lovable losers before?
Yes.
You were like, oh, you guys had Lofa Tatupu.
And now all of a sudden it's like, hey, we've been here before. We won Super Bowls. Okay.
You remember that one the ref stole from you?
Right. Okay. Get out of here. But yeah,
right. I don't know. Now I'm gonna go Seahawks. I'm just gonna lean towards the home team, towards the regional team.
I like it.
Sam Darnold from USC. Let's go.
Yeah, stretching it now.
Hey, either a USC quarterback is going to the Super Bowl or a Los Angeles team is going to the Super Bowl. You're one of them. So, hey, it's gonna be okay. Yeah, I'll go Seahawks. Just I want that defense. I think that crowd is gonna do a little something. It's just hard to see, Matthew Stafford letting the crowd get to him. He's kind of got that NFC North Aaron Rodgers FU block it out ability. Let's go take these guys' hearts, stuff like that.
He reminds me of Troy Aikman a lot. That's
okay.
I like Matt Stafford.
I feel like Troy Aikman was like transferring out of the league when I started like really paying attention to quarterback styles and stuff. Like, and definitely I hear him every week, for the last couple of years with Fox for the years with Fox, and now the last couple of years on Monday Night Football.
I think they made him stop smoking before televised games, because he used to come on like he was lit before when he come on to like some of the Monday Night Football games, and like he would just be like, and he would come on like he wasn't like everybody else. He wouldn't come on full suit. My man would have like a t-shirt on, jeans, and then like a nice blazer or like an overcoat while he's commentating. And he used to be the best. And he'd just be lit on there. You could tell he was lit. So I miss that.
Shout out to the before Troy Aikman. All right, there we go. We got Patriots beating the Bo Nixless Broncos. You got the Rams. I got the Seahawks in the NFC Championship game. We'll see how these go. I'm really excited for that NFC West rematch. Sure. Yeah. And finding out who's going to Super Bowl 60 and who's going to get to go to the Pro Bowl. And
it's cool. You got Brandon Feely on the other side. Shout out to Brandon Feely playing for the Seahawks. And then you got Puka Nacua on the other side playing for the Rams. So either way, the nation wins.
Yeah. We're going to get some people in here. Sure. Yeah, we'd love to see it. I need to post somebody. Do you know anybody that had the number 18 that wore the number 18 who was Samoan? Or is John Mechie part Islander? John Mechie the third? I was like, oh, why is this coming up?
We have to do the research.
That's the thing. He's Taiwanese. I'll use it.
Oh,
that's good enough for me. There's not
Good.
There's not a lot of Islanders once you get to the 20s and teens. It's kind of tough.
Not too many.
But I've been posting the picture of like since Junior Seau. Well, I actually started with Sean Merriman, 56 days away from the Super Bowl. And now we are down to 18. You know, it's getting close. It's getting close. And that's the
Is
end.
Sean Merriman Polynesian?
Nah. That was
I was about to say.
I actually took him off of the reel, and it just starts now with Junior Seau, 55. But every day I'm like trying to find another, and it's gotten real tough once you get down out of the 50s, 40s, 30s.
Maybe in college. Maybe we'll look for something in college.
I definitely found some in college. I was trying to keep it NFL, but yeah, definitely follow the Ballinesian Instagram.
Definitely.
And yeah, thank you guys for listening. As we talked about the NFL, new coaches, new decisions for our franchises. Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. We would love to hear from you. Any topics, any takes you have, any questions, any debates you want us to get into, forward those over by email, ballinesian@gmail.com, or you can DM us directly at Ballinesian on IG or at Ballinesian on TikTok. Let us know. Let us know what you think. Let us know if there's people out there you want us to highlight, stuff like that. Yeah, any shout outs before we go?
Man, I know NFL as a whole is not into the postseason yet, and all the signings, but teams who aren't, they're getting ready for the draft right now. We got players in college championships over now in the college. Shout out to Indiana for winning. Shout out to right after this, before I explain this, but everybody's getting ready for the draft. So there's a bunch of kids right now that are from the islands. Doesn't matter what islands, from the South Pacific, everywhere, that are getting ready for the draft. So starting with Miami, who lost, tough loss. My guy Francis Moingo, he's getting ready for the draft. He is right now slated to be the number one tackle taken, the right tackle. There aren't too many, so I know a lot of people have him anywhere from like 3 to 10. So that's
nice,
man. Look, he played at Tafuna High School for a year, I think. When they came back, they got stuck in Samoa visiting their parents during COVID. And they were at IMG. So when they went home, they were like, well, let's just stay a season, hang out. They play him and his older brother, who plays for the New York Jets, Francisco. They stayed home, played for a year, won the championship, went back to IMG. He ended up being the number one tackle his senior year out of high school at IMG. He's headed to the.
Who they win the championship with?
Tafuna.
Oh, they play with Tafuna?
Yeah. And then you have another guy in Spencer Funnel out of Utah. He's slated to go anywhere from, I think, 8 to like 17 maybe. And then Jonah Lomu, who's the other tackle on that Utah team, he's somewhere within that same range. And then who else? Oh, Babai, what is his whole name? But Yowane out of Penn State, he had that really cool clip where he was walking up the tunnel and the equipment manager was trying to push up the cart and was struggling, and like people were just passing him by, so he hopped over the wall to help him push the cart up, you know. So all those guys getting ready to go pro. So shout out to those guys, man, because it's gonna be interesting, man. And to have all those guys go first round, or even just in the first 2 days, but they're all those guys we just talked about are slated to go in the first round of the draft. And to have all those guys go would be amazing. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. Shout out to those guys. Shout out to all the other collegiate guys who finished playing their season. And the high school guys, man. Everybody getting ready to go to college. Shout out to you guys. Yes, sir. Oh, and the volleyball teams from American Samoa that are in Hawaii right now playing in the tournament. They have bands. A lot's been going on. They have travel teams in American Samoa for softball, baseball, and right now girls volleyball. I got some nieces that are playing in that, so fun to see. Love it. Shout out to you guys, everybody else who's involved in that with American Samoa. Man, crazy job. Good job, guys.
Shout out to Puka Nakua, Polynesian Football Player of the Year.
Hey, that's right.
What does it
That's
say?
right.
2025 Pro Player Football of the Year. That's not it. That can't be it. That's what the thing says, though.
Well, of course.
Pro Player Football of the Year. Pro Football Player of the Year, Puka Nakua.
I would want that.
1,700 yards, 10 touchdowns. Yeah. Yeah, that's wild. Shout out to Puka. Looking forward to seeing him versus the Seahawks on Sunday. Shout out to the listeners. Appreciate you guys for tapping in. Appreciate you guys for listening, tuning in. Shout out to the USO Cam, Marty McFlyer than you, who suggested the podcast to one of the streamers, Irv's Too Smooth. Shout out to Irv for listening. Appreciate you for tapping in. Appreciate the USO Cam for the suggestion. Thank you for spreading the word about our, Samoans talking sports here on the Polytickin Network, about having this podcast and this platform. Looking, forward to continue representing our people and our, our thoughts, and just having a good dialogue with Coach Forrest every week. Not only about football, but about the Pacific Islander players doing great things on and off the court, not even just in football, but definitely appreciate everybody for tapping in, tuning in, spending your time. You should listen to this on 2X. Work it up. You can get a lot more podcasts in if you listen to speed it up. But thank you very much for your time and, the opportunity to be heard and seen if you're watching this on YouTube. Thanks for tapping in. Shout out to Levasa Island Apparel, Brother Eri out there in Modesto, California. If you listen to this right away, I believe this Friday, the 23rd, is a mobile fresh drop. So free food and supplies and resources there at the Via Dolorosa Church, 1331 Cascade Avenue in Modesto, California. This is in Modesto. They're going the mobile fresh drop, I think, in the second Valley Greater Harvest. They do around that area, but specifically in Modesto. Hit up Levasa. Go follow Levasa on Instagram for more information, for updates on, when those resources are going out. They also have the weekly, food bank that they do. So yeah, shout out to Via Dolorosa. Shout out to Brother Eri. Shout out to everyone out there. And if you're not in Modesto, somebody in Modesto, let them know. Spread the word. Definitely
use those resources. Yep.
Yeah. Shout out to the Pod Boys, shout out to the network, and we'll see you guys next week. This one was a little later, but we got it out, got it up, and we'll see you guys next time. Stay hydrated, stay blessed, stay balling, love and light. Peace.
McDaniel sucks.
Josh?